I've been getting blackout drunk every weekend for 2 years and I'm not addicted. That is something that I heard one of my coworkers say the other day, and it kind of had me appalled. I apologize for the quick speaking. This is the second time I've had to record this, but I've been getting blackout drunk every weekend for 2 years and I'm not addicted. My coworker was talking about her parents and how they're like, as she was growing up, they were teaching her like, like, don't ever touch alcohol, because if you touch it once then you're going to get addicted. And then she was making a point, or she was attempting to make a point, in that, well, she drinks all the time and she's not addicted. But there was a quick and easy logical fallacy that I saw in her argument. I didn't bring it up to her because I don't care to start confrontations with people that are not on the same path as me, but it is an easy logical fallacy to see that you saying that you aren't addicted, and in the same sentence saying that you've been getting blackout drunk every weekend for 2 years, is insane. It's almost like the stereotype of kids at school that are like addicted to vaping, if you're in high school or if you remember from high school. And then they're like, they're like, I'm not addicted, bro. I can take away, I can quit anytime. Then you take away their vape, and then they're like, dude, give it back, give it back, give it back, because they're addicted and they need it, but they're not self-aware that they're addicted. It's always said that like the quickest way to, or not the quickest or easiest, because none of it's quick or easy, but the best way to quit an addiction, and the first step you need to take, is by realizing you have an addiction. Now, it kind of makes me sad because looking at my coworker, she's probably going to be addicted for the next few years, if not ever, because she doesn't think she has a problem. And if you don't think you have a problem, you aren't ever going to fix the problem. Say my problem, and this doesn't even have to apply to just addiction. Say my problem was I'm chronically unhealthy. All right, I overeat. When I do eat, I just eat junk food. I don't exercise. I have poor hygiene and I have terrible social skills. All right, say I was telling myself I am completely healthy. I don't need to eat any differently. It's just my genetics, whatever, blah blah blah. Like it's their problem that I don't have friends, not my own. And then my whole life I would go on thinking, I don't need to improve my social skills. I don't need to eat better. I don't need to eat clean. I don't need to exercise. I don't need to improve my hygiene. I'm completely fine the way I am. This is a instant fallacy, because you realize when you start to think this way that this causes complacency, which is very dangerous and terrible in terms of actually making progress. If you actually want to make progress, or if you actually want to get over an addiction, or if you want to change your life in any way, you need to realize that you aren't perfect. That is honestly one of the first steps you need to make. You are not perfect, and that you are a deeply flawed person. I'll just use my life as an example right now. I want to get to 190 pounds. I'm 175 pounds right now. Okay. Now, I started at like 165 pounds 3 months ago. I'm up 10 pounds, and now my progress is slowing down a little bit. I've made a bit of progress, looking okay. But the thing is that right now, every single day, I am tracking my calories. I'm tracking how much sleep I get. I'm tracking my macros. I'm tracking my weight, and I'm doing this so I can make progress. And I'm eating an extreme amount every single day so I can gain weight. Now, if I told myself I want to look better and I want to do this, but then I didn't add these actionable steps of I need to eat 5,000 calories a day, or I need to sleep 8 to 12 hours a night, or I need to track my weight every single morning, do you think I'd make the progress? If you answered yes, you're wrong. No, I would not make the progress. In fact, I would probably lose progress, and then I would blame everything around me instead of myself, when in reality, I have full control over my actions and my decisions. Um, I think for my audience, young men is typically who I'm reaching, teens to 30s, whatever, I don't know. But like, pornography is a huge addiction, and not even that, just lust, whether you're lusting after girls in person or online. A lot of people that I see from high school, and it makes me very sad to see, haven't overcome this addiction, or haven't tried to overcome this addiction, because they've told me things like, well, I get more girls than you, like like what do you have on me? And it's like, if you're using the amount of girls you get as a indicator of how successful you are lost. Because one, ensure the quality of the people that you're talking to or hooking up with. And if you're using lust as your indicator of success, you are purely mistaken, because there are people in my book who I would consider to be 10 times more successful, who have a wife and kids, and it's the only person they've ever been with, and they are much happier and more successful. Now, that's kind of nuanced, and well, I could go in a lot deeper into that, which I will do in a separate video because it's not important right now. But the point is that if you aren't aware of your addiction, like this person isn't aware that he's addicted to lust, even though it's not in the sense of pornography, which is a very obvious way, it's in the sense of chasing after women, which in this sense is terrible because he's chasing it for the sense of lustful gratification, and he doesn't think that he has a problem. So when this person doesn't think that he has a problem, do you ever think that he's going to go out and stop chasing lust so that way he can wait for his future wife, which one day he'll have a family with, so he can have a more deeper, gratifying, and fulfilling sense of love? Um, Realizing you have a problem is the basis to basically everything, so please do your best to do that. That's all I really have to say. Thank you for watching.